What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to another one. Um, in a surprising chain of events, the defense rests their case. Their case is weak, man. They rested their case yesterday, and I want to talk about some things that's going to happen because we could get a verdict as late as 10 p.m. tonight because the jury is being sequestered. So we're going to talk about that. I'm glad the jury is being sequestered. So they can't say that he didn't get a fair shake here. The jury is being sequestered while they deliberate. The problem for him is the defense only put on 6 witnesses or 4 witnesses or something like that. They didn't put on that many witnesses. And here's the shocking thing. The witness that they put on went against Karmelo. Okay, which means that they didn't they this case was this wasn't something they could win, man. And I've already told people this, so get prepared for that guilty verdict, man. I hate to say it, but that's just the way things are playing right now. And so that's what's happening. Let me see here. So yeah, so what you guys need to know is the jury, they're gonna hear closing statements. They should be having closing statements soon, but they're gonna have closing statements. And after that, the jury will get their instructions on how to deliberate the case, or they might get their instructions on how to deliberate the case before then. I don't know. Each state is different. After that, they're going to be deliberating the case. They're going to be sequestered in a hotel. They're not going to go home. They're going to go from the courthouse to a hotel until they get a verdict here or no or whatever. Okay, so that's what's happening here. And they're going to work. They could work all the way up into 10 p.m. tonight. So we could get a verdict late tonight, depending on how long it takes. I don't think this is going to be a long verdict. I don't think it's going to take too long. Maybe it'll take a day or so, but it's not going to take no more than 2 days. Not for this verdict. For me, if I was on it, it wouldn't take no more than a couple hours. I'm definitely not staying overnight. I already know what's happening there, and it's unfortunate. I honestly believe if there was a plea deal on the table, he probably should have taken it. He probably should have taken it. I don't think a plea deal was on the table. I don't know. They don't have to let us know publicly if a plea deal was on the table. He's in trouble right now. Um, he knows that now. I know he know. I know his lawyers had to have told him, but I hope they're not telling him, "Hey, man, you got a chance to beat this." No, he does not. No, he do. You'll see. You guys will see. And it's not. It's not because I want him to be guilty. I mean, I don't want nobody to go away for the rest of their life, but that's what's getting ready to happen. And let this be a lesson. Tell your kids, man, keep their hands to themselves and don't bring no knives to a fist fight. Tell your kids this, please. And tell them to walk away if trouble happens. Walk away. I've walked away plenty of times in my life. It's better to walk away. Yeah, your feelings are going to be hurt, but you're not going to lose your liberties. This kid is getting ready to lose his liberties. You guys getting ready to see. I've been covering these trials for over a decade. He's getting ready to lose his liberties. I know they said from 5 to 90 some years. He's getting the high end because somebody is dead here. Okay, that judge has every discretion to sentence him to life if that's what the jury convict him on first degree. He has every right to sentence him to life. I wouldn't be mad at him. Now, here, some of the issues in the case where people were telling me about was there was no black jurors. Um, there was no black jurors this time. Well, we'll see down the line if that becomes an issue. But as of right now, his fate is in the hands of that jury. He better hope that that jury practice jury nullification, or he better hope that one of the jurors hold out for him so it can delay it a little bit. So at least it can delay it. He will have to have another trial. if this ends in a hung jury. That's what I meant. But as of right now, um, let this be a lesson to young people. This is what's going to happen to you if you decide you want to take somebody's life. This was going to happen. I don't have no sympathy whatsoever. I don't. Because young people are killing each other every single day. It has to stop. Once in my lifetime, it has to stop, but it's not stopping. And we do it to each other all the time, but that's usually not hyped up or anything. Nobody makes a big deal of it. These young people are out here reckless. You should see what they're doing in New York City right now after the Knicks game. They're if you have a Spurs jersey on, they're jumping you and ripping your Spurs jersey off. Now, if one of those teams gets shot, dude, I don't want nobody to have any sympathy. Okay? So we're not gonna have no sympathy. These are fake Knicks fans. These are not real Knicks fans. These are not real Knicks fans. This is troublemakers. These young people are trouble. Some of them are. There's no hope for some of these people. This kid, I hate to say it, he punked out here. He punked out. If somebody is pushing you, you push him back. You got two fists. The other guy had two fists, and he had two fists. He didn't have to use a knife. He was a punk. I'm being honest here. He punked out. Okay. He should have used the two fists God gave him and got to work. But when he decided to poke him with that knife, here we are now. Here we are now. Okay. Here we are now. Since he see these two fists, he should have used these two fists right here. I mean, I learned how to box, but he should have used these two fists right here. Right here. All he had to do, if the kid was bigger than him, because the kid was about 6'1", all he had to do was work that jab to keep that kid at bay. See, jabs work in a street fight. A lot of people don't know how to fight, apparently. All you have to do is use your jab to keep them at bay, and maybe you'll get lucky. And if worse come to worse, just run at that point. Yeah, you might have punked out, but at least somebody will still be alive. You guys need to use these more right here. But what he decided to do, he decided to do this. And here we are now. Let me tell you something, guys. I did some homework on that judge. That judge is getting ready to serve him. You understand me? I'm not hearing he was jumped. Not good, Max. You said I'm not here. I didn't hear it. The defense, they didn't put on no defense that he was jumped. Not one. That's what I was waiting for. Because remember, we said we're going to wait for the defense to present their case. Guys, they rested their case. They only called like 4 witnesses. And one of the witnesses they called went against Karmelo. And they only talked to that witness in the hallway. They were desperate. This is a case you take 15 on. He should have took the 20, 15 to 20 on this. He would have saw the light of day again. He's only 18 years old. He would have been out before he's 40. Do the math. He would have been out before he's 40. He could have still lived his life. This is something you take a deal on. This ain't something you go to, because I could see if he was jumped, but the defense didn't present that. Because people kept saying, nah, Max, he was set up. Well, how come the defense didn't say that? The defense didn't say that. Okay. This is a problem. So hopefully he better hope that the jury practice jury nullification. Y'all, we know I already told you what it was yesterday. In layman's terms, you know somebody's guilty, but you're not going to vote guilty. Just because you're not in agreement with the sentence, you think the sentence is too harsh. So you practice jury nullification and you just say not guilty. It's happened in the past, even during the civil rights during the civil rights era and the Jim Crow era. A lot of people were practicing jury nullification because they didn't want their counterparts to go to jail over some old draconian laws that was stupid. Okay, especially during the different things involving Jim Crow. You don't want nobody to go to jail, so you practice jury nullification. It's happened. He better hope they practice that and find him not guilty. And I was listening to some videos. It's just far out, yo. Somebody and I think was it Willie D. He posted a video and said that it was legal. What was legal? He said, "I told y'all the knife was legal." Are you an idiot? Yes, we know the knife was legal. Yes, it's legal to carry a knife there, but it's not legal what he did. Yes, the knife is legal. Everybody carry knives. I carry them. I used to. There's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to know from the defense, did his head get stomped in? They said they didn't say nothing like that. Nothing. Nothing. Not even that his head got stomped in. The kid bashed it. I could see if the kid, right, since he was bigger than Carmelo, I could see if he was just bashing him in the head, like he was losing consciousness. He was just bashing him and bashing him and bashing him, and then he just did like that and poked him. That I could see. I would vote not guilty on that. Okay, especially if he was getting the best of him and he wouldn't stop and he was bashing his head in. Yes, I think it's okay for him to do it at that point. But I looked at his face in the mugshot, it was clear. He ain't had nothing, no lumps or nothing. And he said to the cop, I told him not to touch me. Guys, that's not good enough. Just him touching you, that's not good enough. Touch him back. If he touched you, touch him back. Now now we got our answers now because I didn't have my answers yesterday. Somebody kept saying, well, Max, he had a friend there. Friend, what kind of friend is that? He ain't had no, his friend didn't help him. His friend didn't help him at all. His friend don't even know how this escalated like this. Oh, it's bad, yo. It's bad. The jury is gonna see Carmelo as the aggressor. It's done. They don't even have to entertain first degree at this point. They don't. They just have to make sure was this murder one or not. Now, if they believe the story that he had his hand in his bag and he dared the guy to come, that's murder one. See, a lot of people think with murder one that you have to put a lot of intricate planning in it. You have to take a lot of time planning. That's not true. Let's say if I'm in a convenience store and nobody's in a convenience store and I pull out my gun to rob the convenience store and I shoot the guy and off him. Is that murder one or not? Yes, it's murder one. Even though I didn't have no plans of robbing the store that night, but it's still murder one because I knew what I was doing and I knew that it's a possibility that he could pass away. It's murder one. You guys are getting ready to see, like my opinion don't matter anymore. You guys are getting ready to see what happened. And you guys are also going to get educated on how Texas get down. Y'all getting ready to get educated on it. Watch, you'll see. Just keep watching. Watch what the judge do. You don't do this in Texas. Texas do not play. Okay? They don't care who you are. They don't care how you look. Former President George W. Bush used to be called the Texecutioner. Okay? Former Governor Rick Perry used to be called the Texecutor on how many people, how many death warrants they signed. I want to say Bush signed over 100 and Rick Perry beat him out. And one guy Rick Perry signed on, he didn't even do it. He said, well, he was a bad guy anyway. This is how Texas get down, yo. Oh, he in the wrong state to be messing around. You better go somewhere else. You better come to New Jersey. You better go to New York or somewhere like that. Not Texas. Texas don't even want to be a part of the union anyway. They want to be their own state anyway. The Lone Star State. Okay? You better read what does Lone Star mean? The Lone Star State. I know about Texas. I told you guys Google TDC website, the Texas Department of Corrections. You're gonna see how many people waiting for execution right now. They got 4 left for this year. Which will make a total of 8 people they executed this year. Not a problem. Then they ask you, they give you your final meal, and then they also ask you, do you got any final words? And they publish your final words on the website. It's a ritual. Do not fall for the don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't drink the Kool-Aid on this one. He made a bad decision. He did. He made a bad decision. He was one of those people I wish a MF would type of person. That's what he was. And he's getting ready to get his issue. Trust me, they have 3 hots in a cot for him. Tell your kids, if you want to act like this, they have beautiful accommodations for you. They have 3 hots in a cot, and it's free. You don't have to, and they'll give you some soft Peter too. You know what soft Peter is? It makes your Peter soft. I'm not trying to be funny. Do you know what soft Peter is? It's a nickname. It's called Soft Peter. It's a Kool-Aid type of drink they give you. It's free. You can drink it all day long. It lowers your testosterone. They used to give it to the GIs in the World War. I know all this stuff. I know what these kids are up against. They want them to go to prison. They want the demographic to go down. Okay? You know how many men are behind prison that could be fathers right now? You know how many? A lot. There's so many people behind prison, it could be its own state. It could be its own state. There's so many people, but the prison industrial complex, which your kids need to understand, it's called the prison industrial complex. Your son is a commodity. You know, now they say what they call sweat equity. You thought slavery ended, huh? Slavery never ended. Go read the Constitution. It never ended. If you go into the system, now you a slave. They give you a number and everything. It never ended. In fact, it never ended for nobody. You know, they think it was no, it was not more than just us that were slaves during the slave time. I don't know if y'all know that. See, they lied to certain people. Oh, y'all were just slaves. Uh-uh. So all races were slaves at the time. You think them sharecroppers got paid? Huh? No. No, they were slaves too. That's why I say if they gonna ever try to pay somebody, we all need a check. They're gonna have to pay us all. Carmelo Anthony still has time though. He better hope that the jury see now here's the thing, guys. There's still light for him though. There's still light. For one, he's 18 years old. They may say, you know what? I don't want to put him away for the rest of his life. Let me give him the lesser of the charge and give him 20, max 20. He'll be out before he's 40. But I heard that the facial expressions of the jury, they're not showing them any sympathy. We don't know that. You can't tell by looking at somebody's face. Because if you do that by looking at my face, you're gonna be like, oh, Max is voting him guilty. Just by look, because it just people just don't have pleasant um grills. Like some people just we look like there's something wrong with us. You ever somebody say you something wrong with you good? You can't read somebody. You can't read somebody sometime. Hopefully, yeah, he looking at 20. If they give him the least charge, is 20, max 20. The judge don't have to give him 20. He could give him 10. So there's still hope for him. There's still hope for him. We just have to see what the jury decides on. Because if the jury feel like, listen, I have doubt. Remember, in order for them to convict him on first degree murder, what has to happen? It has to be unanimous and it has to be beyond reasonable doubt. They can't have if you have doubt, like, wait a minute, I don't know exactly because I didn't see the fight. I don't know exactly. I don't know. Then you have to vote not guilty, even if he did do it. See, it's no question that he killed the guy. There's no question. But if you have doubt on why it happened, you have to say not guilty. Y'all know that, right? You have to say not guilty. Because if I'm having doubts and I couldn't see the fight, and maybe he thought his life was on the line, maybe he had a good enough reason. I don't know. I would have to say not guilty. So it's not over for him yet. Or they could say, you know what? This is like a manslaughter case. That's 20 years max. He's only 18 years old. He'll be out before he's 40. Some people's lives don't get started until you're 40. Okay. 20 years a long time. Don't get me wrong. 20 years a long time. However, he will see the light of day again. And he don't have to get to 20 years. The judge could say, I give him 10. I give him 12. Or I'll meet the state and the defense halfway and just give him 10. Because this is his first offense, right? We don't know how the judge might say, well, since this is his first offense, I don't want to put him away. He didn't run from the scene. Okay. He didn't run from the scene. He admitted to doing it. He was being he was taking the blame. He said, I did it. I did it. So he wasn't hiding. So he really thought this was self-defense. So I have to take that in consideration here. He really thought it was self-defense, even though it wasn't. He really thought so, and he didn't hide. He said, listen, I did it. I don't want this kid to die. I don't think he set out to kill nobody that day. So if I was on the jury, I may not give him murder one. I may not, because he didn't set to kill nobody that day. Something happened, right? But it wasn't good enough for him to kill somebody, right? He wasn't. Whatever happened, I don't know. But see, what if somebody has doubt though? I don't know what happened in that tent. We can't see it. How do we know these kids not lying? If I have doubt, I have to say not guilty. So it doesn't matter what I have to say right now. The most important people in that courtroom is those men and women of the jury. That's the most important people right now, because they might have doubt, or there might be a holdout. If there's a holdout, it's a hung jury because it has to be unanimous. It has to be unanimous here. Do you believe that he thought his life was on the line? Well, if you're not sure, well, who was the aggressor? You're not sure. You have to say not guilty. What you mean you're not sure? It has to be beyond reasonable doubt here. You can't just put the kid away if you're not sure. You can't do that. It sucks that somebody died, but if you're not sure, you can't put this man away now. Excuse me, this kid. I'm not calling him a man. That kid, 18 years old, man. He's a kid to me. That's a child. And it sucks because somebody lost their child, and we got a child here that might lose his liberties. That's what pisses me off. Like, I wish these teenagers would just use these, or just walk away. Just walk away. If you thought somebody was in your tent that wasn't supposed to be there, why don't you go get a grown up? You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of these kids. That's all they do. They want to go fit. They want to fight first. There's no they don't teach conflict resolution anymore. They took that out of the schools. They don't teach it no more. Conflict resolution, how you just walk away. There's nothing wrong. You're the winner. If you walk away, you are the winner because you use this. But guys, I just want to say this real quick. You might not be aware of this because you might say, well, Max, well, what is he facing? As of right now, I'm going to be honest with you. He's facing 20. He's facing 20 right now. He going to get 20. And the judge can say, well, I'm going to knock it down because he doesn't have any priors. Okay? He doesn't have any priors. They're gonna art. Well, first we got to see if he's guilty first. But if he is, he probably looking at the lesser. Maybe they're gonna argue mitigating circumstances on why he should get sentenced on the low end. What are those mitigating circumstances? Well, he's never had any run-ins. He was a good student. Different things like that. And on to the contrary, though, on the other side, the prosecutors are going to argue mitigating circumstances why he should get sentenced on the high end. Somebody lost their life here. You can't get the life back. You can't. You got to think about their family. They lost they lost a twin. You know how psychological tormenting that is? His twin brother lost his twin. They were born together. How you think the mother feels? She lost a twin. One part. She lost. That's like losing part of her heart. So I have to keep that in consideration as well. Grief will take you out of here before high blood pressure will. Y'all know that, right? That's the number one killer is grief. You can go look. That's what the doctor tell you. If you're grieving over somebody, let me give you some medication and calm you down until that process is over because it can take you out of here. It sucks, man, because he's a smart kid. I saw that he was a really good student. I'm talking about Carmelo. He's a really good student. I don't know. Like I said, I've carried knives before. It's not a big deal. I've carried knives even when I was younger. It doesn't mean that he was fearing for his life or anything. He just want to carry a knife until he's old enough to carry a gun. Because in Texas, everybody carry guns. Everybody, a lot of people do. Um, he's never going to get this opportunity. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the jury does because the jury might say we're not sure who was the aggressor here. We don't know, and then that's going to piss people off as well if they vote not guilty. You understand that? That's going to piss a lot of people off, but I will understand though because maybe they weren't sure. You have to be sure. Okay, whatever the jury decides, I'm not going to argue with it because I don't have the evidence in front of me. But if they're sure, what if they're sure that it's murder one? What if they sure about it? He'll get murder one. But if they're not sure about it, maybe they can entertain a lesser charge, like a manslaughter or murder two or something like that. Murder two is 20 years in Texas, maximum, maximum 20 years. So maybe they might say, you know what? We'll just give him. This is a murder two case. He didn't set out to kill anybody. This wasn't then maybe they think it wasn't premeditated. Okay. Well, let's give him murder too. Well, that's 20. Now I know that's a bad, right? You guys like, man, that's bad. 20 years, but he's 18. He'll be out before he's 40. That's how I see it. Because he's not gonna do the whole 20 years. He'll be on like 14, 15 years, maybe 12, or maybe before that. It just depends. He keep a exemplary attitude while he's in there. Don't get any trouble. Don't get any run-ins. He could possibly be out in 10 to 12. We don't know. So that's just what he's looking at. I don't know, guys. Like I go back and forth. I don't know. How is it murder one? Is it premeditated? If it's premeditated, they have to believe the witnesses that he had his hand in his bag. And he said, come this way. He said, come this way. Come over here and touch me if you want to. That's murder one. If they believe it, it's murder one. Okay. Do y'all believe that's what happened? I don't know. You might say to yourself, well, I need to see the video, Max. I need to see him do that. Well, then you won't vote for murder one then. Or you might say to yourself, well, I think it's murder two. Then you might want to give him the light of day again. That's 20 years max. I'm not saying the judge will sentence him to 20, but the max is 20. Stop bullying people. See, here's the thing. I know what you mean by that. Now here's the thing. This is just my thinking. I even thought like this in high school. That's why I never ran into any problems. I had a couple fights, but one fight. And that was a bullying situation. He thought he could bully me, but he didn't know I know how to box. And so, we became friends after that because he started coming to my boxing gym. He said, "Yo, where do you box?" I said, "Yo, you can come." He said, "Is it expensive?" I said, "No." And guys, I can't even tell you. You know who owned that? I ain't even gonna say who owned the boxing gym. He's notorious. I didn't even know until I got to be an adult who it was. But when you you don't know how people are going to react in conflict situations, right? You don't know how. Some people are scared. You don't know, but they'll do something drastic. For him to do that, it's like he was just scared. He probably thought he was going to get his head bashed in. But that doesn't justify the killing. It doesn't. Because what people will say is, Max, well, he need to fight then. Yeah, I know. Need to fight. Because me personally, I would have said, well, I don't the hell with y'all funky tent. I'm leaving. I would have talked some mess on my way out. I said, the hell with your funky tent. I don't want to be in your tent. I'm going somewhere else. The hell with your funky tent. And just keep it moving. Right? I'd have been bumping my gums, but I've been leaving. All right. So y'all can have your tent. And the tents are like tribal, like this is our tent. Why are you in our tent? I get it. I get it. He wanted to know why the kid was in his tent. And teenagers, they can't, unfortunately, some of them can't. When it comes to conflict resolution, they fail. Unfortunately. They fail. Because the thing is, when you bother somebody, when you challenge somebody, you don't know what's in that person's head. You don't know if that person is stable or not. And he could do something to you. Because if somebody reach in their bag, I come from an environment, if somebody reach in their bag, they have a gun. I am not coming no further. So that kid wasn't part of that environment. So when he didn't know the clues. When somebody reach in their bag, right? That means they have something for you. That's what that means. I was thinking the worst. He could have had a gun, but no, he had a knife. If he say come closer and he reach in his bag, you don't come no closer. Tell your kids that, please. Don't go no closer. Because that means they have something for you, especially if the person's smaller in stature and a pipsqueak, wear a size one. Because he looked like he wore a size one at the time. If somebody is that petite and wear a size one, okay, as a grown man, as a almost grown man, and he reaching in his bag, believe him, he has something for you. Okay, it's a girl. I don't know if you guys know this girl. She went viral. She used to go around with her camera. Somebody used to film her, and she used to like pick fights with people. And then when people get mad, she was like, "Hey, I'm just joking. It was just a prank. It was just a prank." She just stabbed somebody. You hear what I said? She stabbed the girl multiple times, at least 12. Okay. Y'all remember who that girl is? The girl used to pick a fight with people. And then she used to be like, oh, it's a prank. It's a prank. And they be chasing her. She just poked some people. Because what happened was the girl that she punked, she didn't want to be punked. And she started beating the girl bad. Right. She was beating her to a pulp. And the girl pulled out a knife and got to poking. That's what happened. So whose fault is this? Whose fault is it? The girl that was pranking. It was her fault because she provoked the person. See, a lot of people need to read up on the law. You can't provoke people. Somebody should have told Chud that. Now Chud's sitting up in jail crying, trying to get out, looking like a whole fool because he didn't realize he was provoking these people. Because you know what he told the guy recently, the one that how he ended up in jail. He was doing like how he usually do, trying to go viral. Had his camera out, right? Had his cameraman, right? And going picking on people, calling them chimping out and stuff like that. But that he didn't realize that the guy was suffering from PTSD from Iraq. He did multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's who he was up against. So he told the guy, "You come any closer, I got something for you. I got some hot ones for you." The guy came closer because the guy, like, I don't care about that. I know hand-to-hand combat. Went and got at him, and he shot the guy. And the judge said to him, "You can't. The money that you raised, you can't use that to pay your bail." So he's sitting up there looking crazy. That's what happened with this girl. She going around pranking people, and then somebody took her up on it. They thought she was being serious, and they were just whooping on her. That girl was whooping on her. and then she started poking. You said according to Texas law, Carmelo acted according. No, well, you got to look at the second portion of the law. You got to look at the second portion, not the first portion, because this was a fatal situation. If it wasn't fatal, yeah, he'd have been fine. If he had a fought, if it was just a fist fight and he got the better of the guy, he would have been okay. But this was a fatal situation. So to meet that fatal criteria, was he being SA'd? Was a sexual assault going on? No. Was there aggravated robbery going on? No. Did the kid put Carmelo life in jeopardy? Probably not. So this is not justified according to the law. You said they tried to physically remove him from the tent, shoved him several times. That's not good enough to kill. You know how many times I got shoved? And I'm a gun owner. I used to be. I remember one time somebody was drunk shoving me, not knowing that I had hollow points. I had +1 in the chamber. I used to walk around with +1. You know what that means? You know how you fill your cartridge up, right? You know how you fill your cartridge up and then you rack it and one in the chamber? Then I slid the magazine out and put one more in. I got +1. Okay? I'm riding around with +1 in the chamber and still didn't shoot the guy. I still didn't. What's a push? I pushed him back, but he was drunk. So I'm in control of the situation because he was drunk. I said, "Yo, fam, you good?" And he pushed me, "Get out of my way." And what if I shoot him? Is that justified? No, I wouldn't be here now. I'd be sitting up there doing about 15, 20. I'd be out in the 2030s. If this happened in the 2010s, I would have got out in the 2030s, maybe 40s, maybe maybe late 2030s. I would have got out. I know they don't get to order nobody to leave, but that that don't mean that he should have a blade in his heart either. Now, I'm gonna just say this: like, I ran track for a little bit. You don't go to nobody else's tent. That's weird. Like we all together. We imagine just having a stream. Like, who is this? That's just how it is. This situation, you're talking about the first part of the law. That's what you're talking about. If it involved anything fatal, this involved a fatal action. So he has to meet certain criteria for it to qualify as self defense. Was there a sexual assault taking place? No. Was there an aggravated robbery taking place? No. Was there a robbery taking place? No. Okay. Was he getting his head stomped in? No. He wasn't getting his head stomped in, right? Because we didn't even hear that evidence from the defense. So his head wasn't getting stomped in. They didn't even say that. It's just that he pushed him. He said, what did he tell the police officer on the body cam? I told him to keep his to not touch me. That does not equal killing somebody. Guys, I used to walk around with +1 in the chamber. Okay? +1, hollow points, +1. Drunk guy was pushing me around. I said, "Fam, you okay?" He pushed me. I pushed him back. I said, "You all right?" I was in control of the situation because he was drunk. You know, I know. See, I know conflict resolution. I know to walk away because I made sure because he was putting his hands on everybody. So I just made sure my friend, her and her friend got in the car. I made sure they got in their car before because he was drunk. He was kind of a big dude, but I was thinking to take his ankles out, not with the gun, but stomp on his ankles and break them. Because once you break the ankles, then he can't move nowhere. So now he's disabled. So I would have been justified to do that. That's not deadly for it could have been. And I don't know if he had a went into shock that could have killed him. But that's what I was thinking, either taking his knees out or his ankles. So that way he can't walk. So we call the police. So when the police come, I said, listen, I disabled him because he's sitting up here messing with these females. I didn't think to shoot him. The defense, they put a witness on the stand that they only talked to for a few minutes. And he even went against Carmelo. That was bad. If he's lucky, if he's lucky, he'll get the lesser if he's lucky. But I doubt it. I doubt it. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Now, let you say he was hold on, let me say he's disinvited. Listen, with teenagers being disinvited like that, right? That hurts their manhood. I'm just telling you. I'm being real here because we need to know how this happened. He felt punked. I said, get out of this tent. Okay. Let me tell you what I did. I said, look here, you little pipsqueak, get out of this tent. Okay. And call them all type of MFers. Probably. It's probably all type of MFers was flying. And now what's gonna happen is as soon as he reach in his bag, he said, yeah, come over here and touch me if you want to. Once he reached in his bag, I'm like this. All right, you got it. And then I would have went to a grown up and say, this kid ain't getting out of our tent. So then here I am coming as a grown up. Listen, kid, you got to go get out of the tent. You know what I'm saying? You can't be here. You got they don't want you over here. You can be here, but they don't want you here. That's the difference. He could have been there. There was no sign that said he couldn't sit there. But they don't want you here, sir. Okay, so can you just please politely remove yourself? And if he didn't do that, now it's time to call the law. That ain't that what you pay your taxes for? They call the law. 911, what's your emergency? We have a situation here. I need you to help me out. That's it. That's all you got to do. What's the problem? I see you trying to be funny. You said they disrespect you. Let me tell you something. You disrespect the wrong person out here, they'll blow your top off. You disrespect the wrong person. They will blow your top off out here. We have to walk through life with a certain level of respect. This is what I was taught. You can think it's funny all you want to. I know somebody personally, you disrespecting the wrong way, that'll be might be your last day on earth. He got all type of PTSD for serving our country. Okay. You don't want to mess with the wrong person. Just want to respect people out here. Okay. And just keep it moving. Because the empire is striking back now. I'm not going to tell you what I mean by that. These young people are striking back. The empire is now striking back. And if you don't know, I'm not going to explain what I mean by that. It's going to get worse. Remember, I said that. These young people do not care. They don't think like us. They don't care. They think a different way. So we have to move a different way to try to fix this situation. You said, Eddie, I keep hearing about this friend. Listen, he didn't help him. Okay. He didn't help him. He knew him. He knew him, but he said he don't even know how it escalated like that. Okay. So guess what? The jury, and look, you know what somebody said? Them 4 or 5 white men on the jury, they not gonna show him no motherfucking sympathy. Okay? They're not showing him no sympathy. None. And this is what he up against. You said veiled black threats of violence. You can call it what you want. He has all type of PTSD. You mess with him the wrong way, he's gonna get you. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you, you be respectful out here because everybody not playing. And it's a pressure cooker out here because people looking at their gas prices, people are looking at their grocery bill, people are now scamming people at the pump. If you at the pump and you see a nail, just go somewhere else. If you all you got to do, because you know what they do, like, well, in New Jersey, well, you guys don't live in New Jersey. It's happening here. It's not happening where you got because out here we don't pump our gas. They're rigging it so that when you leave, they can get more gas off your card. What is this guy saying? I was trying to see. It's bad, guys. I'm just telling you. It's a bad situation for bad situation for Mr. Mello right now. It's a bad situation. No, you said something about something with threats or something. I said, no, you don't play with people out here. And I meant that. No, everybody's not to be played with out here. You keep your hands to yourself. Everybody's not to be played with out here. Okay. You just don't know until you do it. That's why I say just leave people alone and that's it. Now, if like I said, that kid was in his tent in their tent, they should have went and got an adult. Okay. Because as soon as he reached in his bag, that's the universal caution sign to leave him alone now. But as soon as if I reach in my bag, I say, come a little closer, touch me if you want to. That's the universal sign to say, let me go get an adult. Because this kid ain't playing. Okay. He got something in that bag. Okay. I'm thinking it could have been a gun. You said why he bring a knife to a track meet? I used to carry knives. Why do I carry guns to Walmart? What are you gonna say? Why am I carrying my pistol to Walmart? To go shopping. Okay. I'm not agreeing with what he did. Okay. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm trying to show you how to protect your children out here. Now listen again. Okay. Listen to me. This ain't meant to have a conversation. I'm not trying to have a conversation about this because I'm right. So I'm not trying to go back and forth. Listen to me again. If your child, see, Timmy, he ain't from certain environments. So he don't know what that means. You better go tell Timmy if somebody reach in their bag and say come closer, you tell Timmy to start running. That's the universal sign that I got something in my bag and I'm ready to get you. Because you know why? You don't know where people's heads are at. You don't know if somebody is on their last leg, like they don't want to live no more. If somebody reach in their pouch, you leave them alone and go get somebody. He didn't know that. He didn't know that. But he went and went to him anyway. Do you guys realize this happens every day? There was a guy. There was a guy. He called the 911 operator. He said, I just ended my wife's life. Can you come? Can you have the police come? And he was like, what happened? I shot her 15 times. He emptied the clip on his wife. And what happened? So he did that. And you know why he did it? Just because he went through her phone. Some people are crazy out here, guys. I'm telling you, they are. There's some crazy people. There's some crazy people out here. Just leave him alone. Because as soon as I don't know if that's what they said. He went in his bag and said, come a little closer or something. If that was the case, then that means don't go near this kid. I'm not justifying, like I said, what he did, but that should have let him know right there to go get him a grown up. Oh, they race baiting? What's going on? Let me see. The problem is that under Texas. Who is doing it? Southern Breeze. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, carrying a knife in that situation is not illegal. You know, that's Texas. Texas believe in carrying some type of weapon. That's Texas for you. You said school grounds can't have knives. In this situation, it was legal. They didn't care about that. What they care about is, was he justified in the killing? The answer is no. No, the knife, him carrying a knife wasn't no problem. Oh, here we go. I got one. He said he carry a gun everywhere, mostly because I'm fearful of violent blacks like Carmelo. Thank you for letting me know. And who said that it wasn't no baiting up in? Who said that? Because it is. It clearly is. All right, so we got him out of here. Anybody else? Because I missed it. Yeah, don't come up in here doing that. Okay? Don't come up in here doing that. Because I'm one of the people you don't play with. Don't play with me outside. I promise you that. Don't play with me. Or we both will make CNN. I promise you that. We both will make CNN. And I don't mind three hots in a cot. Okay? I'm my grandfather's child. I don't mind three hots in a cot. When my grandfather was coming up during Jim Crow, he went any store he wanted to go in. They ain't say nothing to him. There's certain people you just don't mess with. He said, "Oh, I'm going in here to buy some pop," just because I didn't feel like walking, and they sold it to him anyway. It's just certain people in life you just don't mess with. We're not tough people. We're not. But you're not going to just impose your will on me. We'll make CNN today. We'll make CNN. I will keep my mouth shut and enjoy my three hots in a cot until I speak to my lawyer. That's how it works. I don't play. Okay. Like that Chud the Builder guy, we would have been made CNN if he did that to me. We would have been made CNN because I know the law. He baited me. Just like y'all doing when you came up in here and you trying to rage bait in here. What you're doing, talking about you keep your gun for violent blacks like Carmelo. You just leave people alone. That's all. There's a old crazy guy down the street. This guy, let me tell you something. I really leave this guy alone. He lays on the bench and he just talks to himself. But he's aware that you're there. I said, maybe he's asleep. He said, I'm not asleep. I said, all right, let me just leave him alone. And I'm sitting on the bench, and of course, he started talking to me. I said, "Are you on a cell phone or are you just talking to yourself?" He said, he ain't say nothing. I was like, he just talking to himself. I was like, let me kind of ease my way from this situation. But don't come up in here with that nonsense. Because you guys are so hard. Look, they so hard to try to make this about race. They're trying their best. And I heard Neek, I could have told Neek at night she was getting ready to get attacked. I could have told her that. I could have told her she went out there. They were saying all kind of names to her and stuff like that. Now she got the Black Panthers as her bodyguards. I could have told her them people gonna go out there and try some mess. Could have told you that. But luckily she's okay. And she's all right. So that's good. She's okay. But I knew they're gonna try some mess. You got to be careful with certain people. I know she was crying. I was sitting up in this gas station one time. This guy come up to me. He said, Can I help you? I said, do you work here? He said, no. I said, you need to get away from my car then. I said, me and you both will make the 10 o'clock news. Get away from my car. That's it. And I rolled my window back up because you got to be careful out here because they're kidnapping people out here. They're kidnapping men too. So you got to be careful people coming up to your car. Also, if somebody randomly at the gas station offer you a pamphlet, don't take it. Just say thank you and all that. I don't want your pamphlet. Don't touch it. Just let y'all know that. Don't touch it. Because if you read the news on how many people getting kidnapped out here, your mouth will drop. And a lot of rideshare people are doing it as well. So when your kids take Uber or Lyft, make sure they check the license plate and make sure the license plate matches up with the app and make sure the person in the car matches up with the app. That's it. And if it don't match, you cancel the trip or you call. No, don't cancel it because they'll charge you. Call Lyft and say that the driver don't match, and they will refund you your money. Simple as that. And then get another Lyft. You said kidnapping for what? To never be seen again. See, you didn't know that, did you? Go look at the news and see how many people is getting kidnapped out here, men and women. And I have a theory on this. A lot of rideshare drivers are doing it. And you know why? Maybe because your organs are worth something. Maybe. I don't know. But they are doing it. So if you get in a ride share, make sure the license plate matches up and make sure the picture matches up. If the picture don't match up, you don't want to take it. You don't want to get in the car. You don't want to get in the car. Okay. All over the country. It's going on all over the country right now. Just check the news. Now that you check it, you're going to see it now. It's going on so much that they're not even reporting it. They're not even reporting on the people that's going missing right now. But yeah, so if you go to your car and like there's some tissue or something on your handle, don't touch it. Yeah, I mean you get gloves and get it off like that. And then get some like Clorox spray and wipe your handle and clean your handle. Just take it to the car wash. A lot of this is happening on the East Coast during rest stops. Yeah, so yeah, people would be nervous if they started reporting on how many people are disappearing. So they probably would be terrified, but it's happening every day. You said roughly every year, yeah, 500,000. That's a lot. A 500,000? Now, let me just say this, out of the percentage, there's certain people that want to go missing. I'm not talking about them, the people that go off the radar, that's homeless. They're a part of that number, not them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people that just go missing against their will. It's happening every day. But now that you know what to look for, it's not going to happen to you. It happens, especially on the East Coast. I think they say roughly, if I'm right or wrong, somebody correct me. There's roughly about 50 to 60 serial killers that they know about in the United States right now that they can't catch. They just haven't caught them yet. It's about 50 to 60 as of right now. So who's a troll? Which one's a troll, Southern Breeze? Let me see. Which one's the troll? It's a lot of men that's getting kidnapped as well. Why? I don't know. I don't know. But you just have to I think so too, T Breeze. That's my theory on it. They could be a lot of truck drivers doing it. But getting back to Mello case, um, Chantel, I don't know if you know this. The defense rested their case yesterday. And guess what? Right. That's what's going on. The jury and also the jury is going to be sequestered during deliberations. Okay. If they can't come up with a verdict by 10 o'clock tonight, they go into the hotel. So they can deliberate if they want all the way up to 10 o'clock tonight, if they want. Okay. And then go right on to the hotel. Okay. So I'd say Chantel, if he's lucky, maybe they'll get him on murder two or something. If he's lucky, that's like 20 years max. But I don't know. It's dangerously close to this murder one here. It is. They said only it's supposed to only last 2 weeks, so they're on track. Okay, so you must have Googled it. They suspect it's about 50 suspected active serial killers in the United States. Worldwide, it's could be thousands worldwide. You said who is his lawyer? Hold up, let me show you how the lawyer must be dressed. Chantel, don't laugh because you already know what I'm about to share. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I hope his lawyers wasn't dressed like that. Okay. I hope his lawyers wasn't dressed like that, man. Okay, because his lawyers dressed like that, you going to jail. Period. If your lawyer dressed like that. Okay. Okay. Guess what happened yesterday? Yeah, it's premeditated, Chantel. That's murder one. Okay. Guess what happened yesterday? Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all ain't gonna believe me because I guarantee you somebody getting ready to go Google it. You know what his lawyer did? He said, I haven't talked. He said this to the defense witness. I haven't talked to you that long, have I? Only just outside. And the defense witness went against Mello. Lord have mercy. A defense witness went against Mello. I don't think he should have did all that. No, these are paid attorneys, Chantel. These are paid attorneys. He raised over 100 and some $1,000. I think 170. So he had some good lawyers. You said it wasn't murder one. T Breeze, we better hope not. T Breeze, we better hope not. You know, our opinions don't matter no more. It's the jury. What if the jury think it's murder one? You said Mello about to get 50 years. No, Chris, he's facing 5 to 99 years. What do you mean 50? Where you get 50 from? If he get murder one, that's the judge gonna sentence him to life. Okay, life. Oh, you said manslaughter. Manslaughter is 20 years max in Texas. I don't know where you get 50 years from. He's facing more than that. If it's murder one, it's life. 99 years. That's right. Where'd you get 50? I guess when you say 50, you probably thinking, he's 18. Probably he'll see the. You guys know, come on, y'all. Somebody in here know how Texas get down, man. I'm not the only one. Southern Breeze, you think he's innocent? Texas doesn't require premeditation. Right. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yes, you are right. Did you hear what Slick Rick Chow just said? That's a hell of a name, Slick Rick Chow. It don't require premeditation. Lord have mercy. Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's in the statute. He read the whole statute. I forgot that I highlighted that. Oh my god. It doesn't even require, oh Lord. You just reminded me. He better hope they think it's self-defense. If not, it's murder one on Southern Breeze. It don't have to be premeditated. Oh my God. Well, involuntary, that in text, that's still 20 years max. That's better than life, ain't it? Isn't it? Oh my God. You just reminded me. Oh my God, that is in the statute. Lord, you said he finna sit down for no, no. See, that's no, yeah, you're right. He's sitting for life. For life. If the judge, I'm telling you guys, that judge is gonna give him life. I'm just telling y'all this. Go look at the judge. Go look. I'm not trying to you said they don't have involuntary. Y'all need I did read it. We read it yesterday. We read all this yesterday. You weren't here. But I just forgot about it. You say you hope he gets 5 years? T, I know T. T, he not getting five, T. Crazy. No, Texas, it's no way the judge giving him 5 years. It's life. He can give him it's between 5 to 99 years or life in prison. And I think he's going with life in prison. You said he's not getting out. He's not getting out until them Buck Roger years. No, he's facing that's it. You say you have a feeling something crazy is gonna happen that none of us are expecting. I'm gonna hold you to that. We'll wait and see. Because I'm always open for that too. Yeah, you never know. But just to let you know, they got security everywhere. If the verdict is read, they're gonna have security everywhere. So 2075, no, he's facing the rest of his life. He'll be out when he's 99. Texas is Texas, man. Every state is different. In order for him to justify that murder, he had to meet certain criteria. Was there a essay taking place? Sexual assault? No. Was there a crime taking place? No. Was there um a murder taking place? No. Or something. But pushing? No. You can't kill like that. Can't do it. It's an unfortunate situation, because I know he's thinking if he can turn back the hands of time, he wouldn't have done it. He just walked away. 'Cause that's what I would have done. He should have gone for imperfect. Hold on, let me see what this is. He should have gone for imperfect self-defense to try to get involuntary manslaughter. I thought that's what he was trying to do, but no, I don't know. I think the jury is gonna give him the murder one. I don't think they offered him. I didn't read anywhere where they offered him a plea. Now, plea deals are not made public, but I haven't read anywhere where they offered him a deal. You said the defense established no credible fear for life. His defense lawyers is the grand wizard. You said his defense lawyer is the grand wizard of no, no, he's not. You know what? Um, Speaking of the KKK, he just said his defense lawyer is the grand wizard of the KKK. Let me explain something. He just said something. He think it went over everybody's head, but let me tell you about the KKK. They are doctors, they are lawyers, okay? They're surgeons, okay? They're dentists, they're police officers. They integrate in all throughout society. They are. And you got to be careful and what to look for, especially if you get a new doctor. You got to be careful on what to look for. Yeah, they're all throughout society and even in the military. Now, his lawyer, they get paid regardless. Just to let y'all know that, regardless of the outcome, they still got paid. Okay. You got to teach your kids conflict resolution, tell them to walk away. You have to, because there is three hots in a cot waiting for them. You said, I've never met one. I've met one. What you mean you never met one? They all throughout society. I can take you to a small town in Virginia. Matter of fact, if I do it, I'm gonna go viral. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go viral. I know where they still burn crosses at. I could show you. Don't tell me it still exists. I could show you better than I could tell you. And they'll let me film it. They'll let me film it. But I have to film it from the road though. They won't let me come in to see it, the actual ceremony. It's old school. It's an old school practice. It's rarely done anymore, but they do it out there. I'm not gonna tell you the city. But one time when I had moved out there, I ran into it by accident. I said, "What are they doing? Burning wood?" He said, "My boy said, look closer." I looked. I said, "Oh my god!" But we sat. They know we were there. They didn't do anything to us. We were watching it. And matter of fact, out there, the police don't bother you. Out there, well, where I used to live in Virginia, they don't bother you. They don't trip. It's still Southern hospitality. They don't trip out there. They trip more so in the north. Like I see more of police tripping up here, more so than the south actually. But yeah, that stuff still goes on. Yes, indeed. And they're in all parts of society. They are. They don't wear hoods anymore. Yeah, they're everywhere. They're doctors, lawyers, police officers. They work at your local grocery store, everything. They're everywhere. You just don't know because they're not going to tell you. But yeah, that's just the way it is. But it's not, they don't operate like they used to do back in the day though. But they still have their meetings and stuff like that for sure. We have evolved a little bit, than how it used to be back in the 40s and 50s. But no, they still around. Trust me, they still around. They are still around, and you have to know that. So if you ever get a doctor, right? Let me tell you this. If you ever I help somebody, I save somebody. Now this could happen for anybody. If you ever go to a doctor, I had to help some older people out. So if you got older people in your family, you got to help them out. If they ever put you on a diuretic called lisinopril and you're allergic to it and it starts swelling your ankles and everything else, you tell them to take you off of it. That's the first thing they put you on if you're African American. And most people are allergic to it. You tell them to take you off. If they don't want to take you off and they say this and that, you go get you another doctor. That stuff is killing people. And look, I had said that. I said that stuff killing people. And guess what? Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, guess what? They just had a recall on blood pressure medication. And I was right. Obviously, I was right. Okay. Linking it to the C word. You gotta you a doctor's like a good mechanic. If you got a good doctor, keep them. Yeah, many northern. I mean, the South. They have Southern hospitality there. I mean, people. It's worse up here in New Jersey. Some of the original sundown towns were in New Jersey. They were in New Jersey, meaning that you can work in these towns, but when the sun go down, you better leave. That's what they call sundown towns. That's what they mean by it. But the South is okay. I don't want to scare nobody. I mean, I've lived in Virginia for so long. It's fine down there. You're not gonna run into I didn't know that about that, but that stuff is some people are allergic to it. And I tell people, they said I have problems walking. I said, well, what are you taking? They said, well, I'm taking this. I said, go take something else. Your liver will thank you later. You said you lived in Jersey City briefly. You missed that cheap rent. When how long ago was that? Because shoot, the rent's not cheap in Jersey City. It's 3 and 4 and up now. Now there's certain parts of Jersey City they're still working on, but for the most part, the new buildings they have up, it's 3,004 and up in Jersey City. But let me tell you this, guys. Don't get so worked up on this case. Okay. This was a case where, like I said, somebody lost their life here, man. And unfortunately, another kid about to lose his life, his liberties. And I mean, we can use it as like to tell kids, man, hey man, just walk away. Because once you lose your liberties, it's hard to get them back. And once you take a life, it's forever. See, what I'm trying to say is ultimately how this kid lost his life. He wasn't supposed to lose his life over no tent incident. Just because somebody don't want to leave, that's not a good reason. I can see if he went up to him with a baseball bat, say, "I'm about to bash your head in if you don't leave this tent," and then start hitting him with it. I can see that. I mean, I know that sounds extreme, but pushing, no, no, not pushing. So I think everybody know that we have to like I have to stay with that. It's not good enough. But we'll see what the jury say. Because they're gonna deliberate tonight. They probably going through getting ready to do closing statements. Yeah, the knife, I could see if it was like a bat or something, like he picked up a bat or a golf club and hit him with it, right? He got hit with a golf club or something. Well, actually, he get hit with golf. That's to do damage, right? But then I could see him pulling the knife out. Or if he's running out of the tent, like he's leaving the tent, they still follow him with the bat or club. Then I could see because at least he said I tried to retreat. But this whole situation should have ended with, all right, I'm leaving. I'm trying to tell the parents to bring light to tell your kids, you don't have to do this. Just like kids last night after the Knicks game, they out there robbing people. Did y'all know that? People out there getting robbed. And I made a video. I try to tell people, listen, if you wearing your Spurs jersey, do not go there alone. People laughing at me. Guess what happened last night? People getting beat up, robbed, stabbed, all types of stuff last night. And the news is not reporting on it. Okay. When is this stuff going to stop? Guys, I'm going to tell you something. I hate to say this. There's demons walking amongst us. Demons get into people, souls. Because I don't think any of you are going to sit up there and stab somebody. You know how much it takes T Breeze to stab somebody? I want to know. And you know what? His lawyers didn't, this didn't even come out in court. Maybe he had a mental situation. That didn't even come out. They didn't even say that, T. To at least give the jury something to work with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give me something. Let me tell me he was going through something. You said either last week someone punched the officer in the face and nothing happened to that person. That's crazy. That person lucky. You said they should have squared up and taken a light suspension. Right. He should have squared up and take the butt whooping. The butt kicking, because that's probably what he would have got because the kid was bigger than he was. Take the butt kicking and be done with it. Because when I was growing up, everybody took a L. And then you live the other, and sometimes you become friends afterwards. You go riding bikes and stuff like that. That's what we used to do. I remember back in the day, we get in a little bit of fight, usually arguing about sports. It used to be something stupid. We get into a little fight, and then the fight end with us grabbing each other. I don't know why the fights end like that. We grabbing and wrestling, right? And both of us was out of breath. It was like, yo, you straight? Look, we said this to each other while we grabbing each other, right? You good? Yeah, I'm good. Now you sure you good? Yeah, I'm good. And then we like, all right, cool. Look, we look grabbing each other, right? Yo, you good? Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Because I'm tired. He said, I'm tired too. When we get back on our bikes, and that's it. You said Carmelo father didn't make him watch Friday. I don't know what the family taught. I don't know what they did. He has, does he? Does he have epilepsy? How come they ain't come out in court or something? Did he taking medication? What happened with him? See, guys, the reason why I'm saying that a normal person ain't gonna sit up there and stab you like that unless you're going through like something. They didn't say none of that came out in court, or maybe the epilepsy did, but not. I don't know. Did they come out in court? You said get a person who had no business being there and trespass on the premises. Let me come back to that one. Hold on one second. Family took all the donations for themselves. Seem like terrible parents. How much donation they get? He does have epilepsy. Did he have a fit that day, or what happened? Something some that should have came out in court. Maybe he had a episode or something. You said I only heard his mom speak once, and it wasn't good. You talking about in the beginning? That's what you talking about. When you talking about when the kid father showed up at the press conference, right? So, guys, what happened? What she talking about is the kid father. He showed up at the press conference because he wanted to show some type of solidarity, between the parents. And she said, "No, we don't want to talk to him," and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's what happened. I don't want to get into it, but yeah, that's what happened. You said he refused to look at the altar. I wouldn't look at it either. After that, what he did, the judge repressed that info. Interesting. Yeah, but my question, did anything come up in court about did he have any type of mental situation or nothing, did it? Nothing. None of that came up. So that's interesting because they rested their case, so nothing came up. So he was perfectly in his mind then. All right. I couldn't be no police officer, T Breeze. You know what I would have said to him? He said no, because the cop said we have the alleged suspect here. He said they ain't alleged. I did it. You know what I would have said to him? You better shut up. Shut up. Just shut your mouth and let me do what I got to. Shut up. No, it's not alleged. I said, well, this kid ain't rap tight. I would have said that. Are you rap tight? They would have put me on desk duty for that. You said the defense team did not put in he has epilepsy. That was in there. Why not? Why didn't they didn't say nothing was wrong with him? Nothing yesterday? I feel like if you truly believe you're innocent and with self-defense, you would look at what you did, and it doesn't help the fact that his parents pocketed the how much did they raise, guys? God damn, 90,000. Let me set up. Can I set up a fund? Can y'all donate to it? I'm gonna set up a fund. How does epilepsy factor in? Isn't that like seizures? Yeah, they don't factor in. I'm just saying, did he have something going on that day? That's all I was asking y'all. See if y'all read anything on it. Well, tell your son never to talk to the police. He did talk to him, T Breeze. He said he was the one that did it. 600K, something like that. How much is that after taxes? They got to pay taxes on it, right? 600K, so they probably pocketed 300 and maybe 340 out of that, 345 or 350. That's a still good payday. Damn, 600K. Um, so they had to pay for the lawyers, and that's it. Interesting. 600K, huh? I heard the judge said manslaughter can be on the table. I mean, if the jury don't feel like it was murder one, they go to what, murder two. Let me see. Yeah, he did admit to it. Law fees are usually tax deductible. He did admit to it when in the police body cam. He said we have the alleged suspect here. He said it's not alleged. I did it. Yeah, so that's no question that he did it. I mean, he said it, right? And he said, I told him not to touch me. And I asked you guys yesterday, touching don't warrant stabbing somebody. If somebody touch you, you touch him back. If worst case worse, if you don't know how to walk away, you touch him back. And if he get the best of you, he just get the best of you. Okay, you're here. The jury just went to deliberation, guys. Thank you. Watching the world 777. Peace to you, brother. I haven't seen you in a minute. Actually, I saw you at Nancy Guthrie case. Okay, guys, watching the world. Just type in that name in your search. It's called Watching the World 777. He's out there now, and he's boots on the ground. He was at the Diddy trial. He went to Nancy Guthrie house, and I can't remember else where you went watching the world, but he's everywhere. He's out there now, guys. So the jury just went to deliberation. Make sure you write his channel name down. Watching the World 777. He's boots on the ground. All right. Max, are the closing arguments on? No, they went to deliberation. Everything is over with. The jury is deliberating as of right now. Watching the World is in here now. So peace to Watching the World. I wish I could have went out there with you guys, man, but I'm getting ready for the World Cup out here. Yeah, Watching the World, in my opinion. Yeah. What do you think? If the worst case scenario is they could get him on a lesser charge, but murder one is on the table. Texas is a little different and it doesn't have to be. They don't have to prove premeditation with the murder one. Were you in the courtroom? Yeah, it's Texas. Were you in the courtroom today? How did he look? How did is his family quiet, or Rican 80, they're deliberating right now. No, they don't have to prove that he was premeditated for murder one in Texas. Texas, remember, it's the Lone Star State. They do things differently in Texas. But watching the world 777, he's actually there. So he's boots on the ground, guys. So make sure you tap in with him. Well, the thing is, T Breeze, like you said, hopefully, like I said, I say this all the time. The most important people right now is the jury, not me. Oh, you didn't go in today, but you was in the main courtroom the other day. Okay. Like I said, the main people right now is the jury. It's how they see the case, not us. They probably just went to deliberation, Regan, and they have up to 10 o'clock tonight because they're being sequestered. So if they can't reach a verdict today, they're going to the hotel. You said there's a chance they might let him off easier, meaning with a lesser charge. Yeah. The lesser charges carry a maximum of 20 years in prison. That's better than life. Will he get 20? I don't know. It just depends on the judge because this is first offense, right? 18. I don't know. But we'll see with the jury. The jury, we'll see with their deliberations. We'll see. Joe, what's up? The jury is deliberating. Watching the world is there. He said they deliberate right now. Hey, watching the world, are you currently live right now? Are you currently out there? Are you live right now? You said the twins were the aggressors. Okay, here's the thing. If the jury believes that the twins were the aggressors, he might get a lesser charge. Uh I know JLR is out there and also Neek at Night is out there. Who else is out there? Watching the World's out there. I was supposed to come out there with you guys, but I just couldn't. I was like, I'm just gonna fall back for this case. I knew it was only gonna last 2 weeks. I was like, that's pretty good for me to go to, but I knew it was gonna be hard for me to get in the courtroom. So I decided I was like, I don't know. But I'm glad you guys are out there. Um, so we'll see. I'm not hopeful. I'm not if I was him, I wouldn't be, I don't know. I would be nervous as hell that they give me murder one for sure if it was me. And I don't know how the jury looked. I heard that the jury they look like they not showing them no favor. That's what somebody said. They said the jury don't look good. They said they were looking at his lawyers like, okay. So we'll see. I don't know, guys. I just like for me personally, I grew up in a different era. We had fist fights growing up. And sometime you win some, sometime you lose some. Like I actually had the privilege of going to a boxing gym. And sometimes you get your butt kicked. But one thing I learned though from boxing, you get your butt kicked, but you learn though. Because I remember my boy was like, "Yo, man, you box, you got hit with that left because you're not using your defense properly." And then once I learned it, man, I was excited. You know what I'm saying? I finally like I'm not getting hit like that no more. I was excited. Um, we'll win some, he'll lose, we'll win because we used to go to different boxing gyms. Sometimes we'll win some, lose some. We all go together and have pizza. We were all friends, but we were learning how to fight together. It was fun, guys. Boxing. If you have kids, if they're getting bullied, put them in boxing class. I'm telling you, put them in boxing class because one thing they're going to learn, and they're going to learn how to jab, and that takes away a lot of things, and they build confidence that way as well. But yeah, he lost his twin. So imagine how he feel. He lost his twin, and twin bonds are strong. Were they identical? I believe they were identical twins. But anyway, any way you look at it, this is a bad situation. Quick stop, Dante. Yeah, you say he guilty as fuck. It don't look good for him, Dante. Don't look good. Don't look good now. I've already said my piece. I'm just listening what everybody else, reading what everybody else is saying. Don't look good now. You said at your mid school, high school days, guy used to go behind the bleed. Yeah, we used to do that too. He was, and but we used to fight though. We actually used to do because we all used to box. We go to the same gym. We used to set up fighting days at the gym where okay, I'm parting up against you. Me and you gonna fight for the title. And then we had boxing gloves and everything and headgear and everything. So we used to, our coaches used to love it. Okay, so who you fighting? Oh, I'm fighting him. And he beat my ass. The coach told me he beat your ass the last time. What you gonna do? You ready? I said I'm ready. And it was fun, guys. That was the time of my life. Yeah, we had fun fighting. And then we go out. The coaches take us. They bring pizza. They order pizza for us. Yeah, put your kids in there, man. It helps with the confidence. Not that they're ever going to have to fight. They may not ever have to use it, but at least they can build their confidence and keep them, out of trouble. And a lot of these them places have after school programs. Man, it was fun. I believe in conflict resolution. Should have just walked away. I mean, I ran track for a year or so. You don't want to be in nobody's tent. I mean, it's like we're tribal that way. Like this is our tent. This is our little area. I get it. I also get he want to get out of the rain. He knew somebody over there, but things happen. I listen, I tried to tell people at the Nick watch party, do not wear your San Antonio stuff. I told people. People were getting robbed yesterday. Their jerseys getting ripped off. It was nuts. It was nuts yesterday. Tried to warn people. I'm like, look, and the cops really didn't do much. They arrested a few people, but you said all males are tribal. There are plenty of state. Yeah, we used to do that. You're like, yeah, this is our little turf right here. Like, okay, yeah, yeah, we about to beat y'all today in the track. Yeah, like that. We had our little tent, had our little area. Um, but nobody ever like came to your area. They might be walking by, they might say something to you and stuff, but just to go sit down and I don't know. I don't know. They said he went to the dugout first, and then the coach said they couldn't sit in the dugout because he was in the dugout first before he was in the dugout first before they went to the tent area. So guys, what happened was it was raining. So him and a friend of his, they went to the dugout first. And the coach told them they couldn't sit in the dugout. So then they went to the track because they were getting ready to like practice. And then he said that's when Carmelo went over to the bleachers. And he said he heard a lot of commotion and he didn't know what was going on. And then he said he saw Carmelo coming out and people surrounding him. He said it was a lot of commotion and Carmelo was being surrounded. That's what he said. But he didn't see the actual fight or whatever it was. But yeah, yesterday was that's what was said in court yesterday. Um he did know somebody in the tent. He knew of somebody. The person said that yeah, he didn't think this situation was justified. He don't see how it escalated to this. So the jury currently, guys, they're right now they are deliberating right now. So currently, I should change it. We're on verdict watch right now. We're currently on verdict watch. So yeah, they left the dugout because the coach told them they couldn't stay there. Yeah, even the nerds back in they had their group, right? Um, you don't want to like that's their area in the lunchroom. And but in my high school, we even got along with it. Everybody was like family, but everybody had their spot though. Like the computer people, the chess club, they were over here, and the jocks was over here, stuff like that. But we all got along though. I came from went to a small high school. We all knew each other. Yeah, it's done. It's in deliberations now. Because they only we had 20 minutes. 20 minutes apiece deliberating. I mean, closing argument. You said, yeah, and we were the Green Dragons. Oh, y'all had y'all little cliques. Like I remember one day I was oh, I got a story for y'all. One day I was in Virginia. This was like a few years ago. It was a nice day out too. And it was during Memorial Day or something like it was a holiday. I can't remember if it was Memorial Day. A bunch of bikers showed up in the gas station because I was pumping gas. And I never been up to these bikers before. Like I didn't even know they existed down there. That it was the Hells Angels. That all of them showed up. I was like, what the fuck? They all showed up. It was like it had to been like, I don't know. It seemed like a lot of them, but maybe it wasn't a lot. But I seen the Hells Angels on the back of their vests. I said, wow, I ain't never like been up close to them before. And one of them, he parked right in back of me. He said, "Hey, are you done with the pump?" I said, "Yeah, I'm moving now." He's all, take your time. But they were everywhere. I was like, "What the?" And I parked. I was just parking and just looking, just like sitting at my car, just like checking them out. They were just getting gas, and then they were all like, what do you say? They had like there was somebody in charge. I guess the road crew dude. He had them all line up, and then they all took off. That was crazy. You gotta be careful with them, though. That's why I was, like, kinda off to the side. I was just looking. They didn't do nothing, though, but I had just never seen them up close before. I've been to Bike Week out there before, but I had never ran into them, though. Yeah, they said this was after he did what he did, everybody was running away from the tent, but they were surrounding him, and he was with, like it was, like, somebody older around that came around. It's crazy. I honestly believe in his mind, he thought it was self-defense in his mind. But he gotta understand you can't use deadly force if somebody is not trying to if it's not warranted. He didn't know that. It's crazy, man. How a split second can change somebody's life forever. You think he's going free? Ugh, I don't think so. I didn't hear no testimony really that the twins was getting at him too tough. I didn't hear nothing like that. But all right, guys, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go look around, and we're on verdict watch now. So I will be back. I'll change it to verdict watch. So we're definitely. And I heard that they're being sequestered, meaning that they're gonna be in a hotel if They can't come up with a decision today, but they can work all the way till the wee hours of the night if they wanted to. They can work all the way to 10 p.m. if they want to. We can get a verdict at that time. So the judge is allowing it. So we'll see. We'll see if they have a verdict today. But you said yes, Spurs definitely winning the next game. But I will be back soon. All right, y'all.